Dan Hooker, as someone representing the entire UFC community, the entire UFC organization, and every Charles Oliveira lover on this planet, go out there and give Arman Tsarukyan the ass whooping of a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, we have UFC Fight Night Qatar, my favorite fights on the prelims, all the way to every fight on the main card. We're going to talk about my lock of the night, my upset of the night, my question to you. Are you rocking with Team Arman, or are you rocking with Dan, the Hangman Hooker? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget, like and subscribe, starting with a absolute W on the prelims. And when I tell you, if you are from Russia, if you are from China, I am absolutely saying your name wrong. Cry me a river. Get over it. Quit putting 7 Ks and 7 Ys in your name. I don't know what to tell you. We have Alexandre Pantoja. Alexandre Topuria taking on Bekzat Almakhayan. We're going to call him Bekzat because that's a ridiculous last name. I hope Topuria gives you belt to ass for that. Alexandre Topuria, absolute dog. I think he has a lot of potential in this league. A guy that really took a back seat to his career to help his brother get to the top of the UFC. This man has a very strong grappling base. If you ever watched any of the Topuria's fight, they have a love for grappling and never really get to use it. He has good finishing instincts, and he's coming off a win in his debut, but he's taken on a man in Bekzat who is a high-paced striker and has absolute sickening combinations. He's coming off a win. This man has some experience in the octagon. He has been in there with a Nurmagomedov, ladies and gentlemen. He went out, he lost. It wasn't a 5-round decision, so I will give that to him. He can weather the storm on the ground. He can weather the storm on the feet. The distance with a Nurmagomedov is going to always be a W, and it's going to tell a tale for the fighter that went the distance with him. But something about the mystic of Topuria is absolutely kind of crazy. And when you got a guy like your brother in the corner and you come from a gym like that, you took a back seat and now they're letting you flourish in your own career. I am rocking with Alexandre Topuria with the win. Something about that last name, it is honestly almost impossible to pick against unless you're probably fighting a guy like Islam. Next, we have Alex Perez and Asu Almabayev. Alex Perez coming off a pretty devastating injury. The last guy he fought took his back, made a little shift, and absolutely blew out Alex Perez's knee. And Alex Perez, a guy who's already had a pretty streaky career as it is, but he has been in the octagon with some of the best of them. This man has fast hands and some pretty solid wrestling defense, coming off a loss, and is a very streaky fighter, but he is solid on the feet. He is solid on the ground, taking on a guy in Asu Almabayev, who is a smooth grappler. This man can get the back of some of the best of them. He has excellent control from the back, coming off a win after getting KO'd by Manel Cape. Manel Cape, one of the absolute best talents in that division. That he would, if he didn't fight Cape, he would be on like a 7-fight win streak, something ridiculous like that. That's a pretty big W in the flyweight division. He had a good streak going before that loss. He was 4-0, could have been 6-0 had he won that fight. Asu Almabayev is up and coming in this flyweight division. I think he's going to go out here, and I think he's going to beat the streaky fighter in Alex Perez. Next, we have Bogdan Grad against Luke Riley. This is actually one of my favorite fights on this card. Luke Riley, this is his first, I want to say this is his first fight in the UFC. I may be wrong. He has a high volume output, and he is a young, undefeated prospect coming off a win streak, 11-0 in the regional scene. So this is his first fight in the UFC, taking on a guy like Bogdan Grad, who has pretty good striking overall. He's got a little bit of ground game. He mixes in kicks well. He's coming off a loss. I just don't know if he's going to be able to handle the pace of Luke Riley. A guy like Luke Riley is going to keep pushing. He's going to get you up against the cage. He's going to pick you apart with precision striking. And this looks like a good version. Does this not look like Lex Luthor versus Superman right now? Like, look at the swoop in his hair. It's absolutely perfect against this bald specimen in Bogdan Grad. I'm going to be completely honest. I am rocking with Luke Riley with the win, and I think it's probably going to be a pretty dominant victory for the young 11-0 dog. Next, we have Tagir Ulanabekov. We're going to call him Tagir against Kaiji Horiguchi, that's actually a W name, and it's going to make it hard for me to not pick you. I don't know why I like that so much, but I absolutely do. Kyaji, this is his second stint in the UFC. He is an older fighter. He has fast footwork, dynamic striking. He is a veteran with championship experience. This is a guy who has been in the octagon with Demetrius Johnson. He's been in the octagon with some major names in the UFC, and he's had success against them. I think the fight with Demetrius Johnson went 5 rounds, something of the sort. His last fight in the UFC was 2016. I don't know how active he's been on the regional scene, if he's just been out there stacking wins, or if he's just been steadily making his way back in the UFC. Taking on a guy in Tagir who really up until this point has only fought cans. He's got, by the way, you see the V at the end of his name. You see the chin strap. You know who we're rocking with on this. If you have a V at the end of your name and a chin strap, there's a 99% chance I'm not picking against you. He has excellent Dagestani grappling, slick transitions. He's coming off a win, 4-fight win streak, and this will be a big jump in competition against a guy who I said has seen a lot in the UFC. I'm rocking with Tagir with the win. It's the V, it's the chin strap, it's the Dagestani Sambo background. They're absolutely dominating and decimating the UFC right now. Next, we have Waldo Cortez Acosta, one of my favorite heavyweights in the game. We'll get to that in a second. Against Shamil Gaziev. Waldo Cortez Acosta, I think taking this fight on like a 48 hour, maybe a 3-day notice. This fight is going to be absolute fireworks. Again, I say this for every heavyweight fight. It's going to be absolute fireworks, or it's going to be the most boring fight you have ever watched. The thing with Waldo Cortez Acosta and Shamil Gaziev, Gaziev is going to walk you down. He's going to push forward. He has relentless power. His hands are so heavy. He's coming off a 2-fight win streak, and he can suffocate you with pressure. But the guy in Waldo Cortez Acosta he's taken on just keeps defying odds. And I'm going to say I have taken him as the winner from the moment I actually predicted him to beat Despain and fraud check Despain, because something about his striking was just intriguing to me. You don't see a lot of heavyweights. You see a lot of heavyweights with heavy hands. You don't see a lot of heavyweights with precise striking and can work the body like Waldo Cortez Acosta. This is a guy who is insane off his back foot. He's going to keep throwing the punches. He has the volume for a heavyweight. He has the cardio for a heavyweight. He's great fighting off his back foot. He's taking this fight on a short notice. Shamil is going to walk forward, and Waldo is going to continue to pressure him on his back foot. I'm rocking again with Waldo Cortez Acosta coming out with the W. That is my dog right there. Next, we have Jack Hermanson taking on my boy Mo. Why am I calling him Mo? You pronounce that name right for me. And Mo is an absolute dog, ladies and gentlemen. I love the hat he wears. If I could like get a hat, just wear that on stream, it would be an absolute W. My boy Mo is relentless with physical. He's a physical fighter, and he's relentless with the pressure. He's coming off a win. He's rising fast. This is a prove-it fight, moving up a weight class. I believe Mo is moving up a weight class, and Jack Hermanson, at his old age, is moving down a weight class. You don't see a lot of older guys moving down weight classes. I think he might be moving down 2 weight classes. Jack Hermanson, strong grappler, dangerous top game with the submissions, coming off a loss where he was absolutely flatlined, knocked out cold, trying to regain a ranking position, moving down a weight class. I think my boy Mo is going to go out here and absolutely walk through Jack Hermanson. I don't really have a lot to say about this fight. Next, we have Volkan Ozdemir taking on Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield is a massive what-if guy. He's getting older. I think he's 38 years old, which is kind of crazy because he looks like an absolute athletic specimen, which he is. He has huge power. His athleticism is absolutely insane. He has a big finishing ability. He's coming off a loss. He needs a bounce back statement. His career is just so streaky, and he is so... Actually, no, he's coming off a win. I want to say Alonzo Menifield is coming off a win against Sai. I was wrong about that. Still, the streaky career, he's chinny, taking on a guy in Volkan Ozdemir who will go out there and put you in an absolute coffin. This man has early knockout power, especially in the first round, coming off a 1-win streak, trying to build momentum, keep going in the heavyweight division. I think Volkan Ozdemir is going to go out here and is going to give Alonzo Menifield belt to ass. I'm assuming knocking him out in round 1. our co-main event of the evening. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember the name? We got Bilal Muhammad taking on Ian Machado Ian Gary, and I feel like he keeps getting slighted. He keeps having to beat the next top guy up to get a title fight, coming off a massive win against Carlos Prates, a guy in Carlos Prates that needed to fight a guy like Ian Gary to show, oh, I can't keep partying and smoking if I want to do 5-round fights because my cardio fucking sucks. Ian Gary is that guy that's going to push you to your limits. He can strike with the best of them. He can grapple with the best of them. Bilal Muhammad, though, coming off a loss, losing his belt to Jack Della Maddalena. And I'm going to give Bilal Muhammad some love. The striking he put on in that fight was absolutely amazing. We've never seen Bilal Muhammad stand in there and strike with an absolute dog like that. And we love to see it. I don't know why he didn't go camp in Dagestan for that. I can assume why he didn't go camp in Dagestan for that fight. But it was weird to me. Is he going to be able to beat Ian Gary? I don't think he camped in Dagestan for this fight either. So they're going to go out there and throw hands. Is Ian Gary going to be able to weather the storm if Bilal Muhammad goes back to his roots and starts shooting the takedowns and starts getting you on the ground and starts grinding you out? Ian Gary, the clean, more technical striker, great distance control, coming off a big win over Prates. Bilal Muhammad, one of the most consistent grinders at welterweight, coming off a loss to JDM, looked different when he didn't camp with Islam. I think Ian Machado Gary is going to come out here and solidify his title shot against Islam Makhachev. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening. If you have made it this far, let me know your lock and your upset of the night. This is going to be my upset of the night, and before was my lock of the night. Ian Gary is my lock of the night. Dan Hooker is my upset of the night, ladies and gentlemen. An almost 500-point underdog. This man is relentless. He goes out there and he does this for fun. I think he's coming off 2 fractured arms and he's still going out here and banging with the best of them. He has dangerous knees. He has dangerous counters. A veteran who thrives in chaos. I believe coming off a 2-fight win streak, something to the such. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. Fighting a guy in Arman Tsarukyan who is a very, very technical, not only striker, but grappler in the clinch. The elbows are absolutely devastating. They're actually scary when you're in the clinch with Arman Tsarukyan. The only reason we didn't see him use it a lot against Charles Oliveira is a pretty big dude. He's pretty big and pretty solid in the clinch himself. He has a lead of wrestling. He's a cardio machine, consistent pressure, coming off a win, momentum towards a title shot. And that's really all either of these guys are looking for. Arman, you could say he's getting slighted. Should have had the title shot against Topuria. Part of me wants him to win this so I can see Topuria absolutely flatlining. But I think Dan, the Hangman Hooker, goes out here and gives Arman Tsarukyan a humbling. He deserves it. I'm not going to lie. Some of these guys deserve to be humbled so we can see, are you going to feast or famine, ladies and gentlemen? Are you going to rise and become a better fighter? Or are you going to roll over and continue to get beat over and over and over again? Ladies and gentlemen, those are my UFC Qatar picks, predictions, and upsets. Let me know your lock of the night, your upset of the night. Are you Team Tsarukyan? Are you Team Dan, the Hangman Hooker? Down in the comments. Don't forget, like and subscribe.